Hello and welcome to 10 Minutes on the Fly, YouTube style. We thought we'd take a minute to come onto this platform because I haven't really made a whole lot of longer videos. I've been doing shorts, and I keep telling myself that I'm going to be moving over to YouTube, and I just had that thought cross my mind. It's how I work in creation of content. I listen to the energy of what's calling me, and then I do what I feel like. Most people are insecure and they don't operate like that, and then they work off of the expectation of an audience, which then drives markets to the demise of society, and there's no relaxation to it. If you can really understand what I just said, then you'll really get the expectation of influencer to consumer and consumer to influencer, which is all called cohorts. So in some of my other videos, we've talked, well, the title I think of this one is going to be $26 growth to growth. In the early years of creating of influence, we were working with media and we were working with small business or corporate business of commercials. And even back then, it was Buy My Lies. It was like, that's the category of Buy My Lies. However, brand and image was based on a product versus a person. And this is kind of where we got into a little bit of a debacle. Where we headed with this was that women and men in business started YouTubing and podcasting and Facebooking and Instagramming based off looks, follow for follow. You get yours and I get mine. Favor for favor. Dating to date. So women and men who were in their 20s were starting in the techie world, but it was only specific to people living in certain demographics, which is very, very insider trading. So the way the platforms evolved in growth was, in the old days, for smaller communities, you would go to parties, you would go places, and then you would say, what's your Facebook versus what's your phone number? What's your Facebook? What's your phone number? The story I have for myself is that I actually deleted 1,000 people off of my Facebook page on purpose. Because I was feeling, I don't know if I was feeling insecure, but I was thinking, this is what I thought to myself. I was testing the market, and I was testing to see what people's reactions would be. I knew somebody who would do that on her platform. If she didn't get attention from people, she would delete them. A web or a network is what you should be picturing. A web or a network of people on your Facebook page, and you're at the top. And then the rest is just kind of like this. And so then it became 1 degree of separation for 1,000 people globally. So everyone was so pissed off at me. I was like, what the hell's your problem? I don't even know you. They felt it when I unfollowed them, which to me was really strange. I didn't really understand it. This was prior to me even really producing a whole lot of content. That's the crazy part. With that being said, the people who were on this platform, the 1,000 people that I had, were the foundation of Facebook, of Instagram, of YouTube followers. That's something to be aware of as leaders of those organizations. I set a trajectory of an unhook to a community that built your platform without knowing that I was doing it. I personally said to myself, if I could build up 1,000 people, I could do it again. However, COVID hit. And so everybody's life completely shifted and changed. Then I got kicked off of Facebook. Or I don't know if I got kicked off of Facebook. I just lost access because I think I forgot my password. I have so many funny stories about forgetting my password and just starting new platforms. So there's like 3 or 4 different Facebook pages roaming around with my face on them that are actually mine. There's probably like 7 or 8 Twitter pages. This is also something for businesses to pay attention to when it comes to your growth and the lack of growth of what could be considered, retardants, like preventers of growth, because that's like a heavy weight. Instagram, I didn't get on Instagram until later. Why did I not get on Instagram until later? I didn't get on Instagram till later because of people that are currently in the lead of Instagram, because I was like, what the hell's the point of that? Not because I was insecure. No, because I was like, what the hell is the point of that? Understand how I'm old school. You want to really understand how I'm old school. I didn't give 2 shits about Kim Kardashian or Paris Hilton and their Instagram page. I cared about real connections of people and like really having fun, and that didn't make me have fun. And so I didn't get on Instagram until later on in life. And I would say that I was on Instagram when I feel the same way about Snapchat. I still don't produce that many Snapchats because it tells everything about who a company is based on the advertising they're willing to participate in. So there's always this one nasty picture that Snapchat, like, there are always nasty pictures that always show up in my feed. It's the one picture of a woman's boob, and there's little holes in it where they proclaim that worms come out of it. And that was my sign not to get on Snapchat. And a bunch of other illogical, erratic videos that were just really grotesque that would always deter me from really spending any time on Instagram. So most of my time was spent on Facebook, and later on became Instagram. And I'm kind of telling you my history again. I think I've told you this years ago. I told you this story. I don't repeat content. It's really interesting, my journey with social media, just to let everybody know. And I you forget the stories that I tell you and then I remind you. I made an Instagram account and I started creating real creative, and associated to a yoga practice in a yoga studio. And I used the Instagram story to post during the bodybuilding show to keep me motivated for myself. Nobody really was following me. Very few people were following me. I don't even remember how many people I had following me. Moving and progressing forward, I would then go, like at some point I got real clear on how corrupt celebrity and females were. And I went into their DMs to jab, jab, right hook business. I did that. I did a phase where I did that. I offered up my services. I said, would you like some assistance to pay me for me to help you? And they said no. They didn't respond. I even have a dialogue with Adam Levine where he's in Aspen of a long conversation of him and I communicating, of a one-sided conversation. Then the summer thing came out. It's like, that shit's not true. Whatever he said, whatever was said about that summer chick is like a total lie. They're actually talking about me, but nothing ever really has ever happened between me and Adam physically or conversationally, and there's proof of it on his Instagram account. There's no proof in Adam Levine cheating, for those of you psychos who are psycho. Moving forward. Then I got pissed off because I was thinking to myself, well, who the hell do you think you are? And I started seeing how diabolical the women were. And I sent nasty messages in their newsfeed. Like things like, you are not a good person and I know what you're up to. And I went around to all sorts of of people's platforms, famous people's platforms, who you think are just operating with somebody working their platform. And then they sent a request to have my page taken down. Not one time did one of these celebrities reach out to me as if I was a human being, because they wanted you as audience to buy their lies. Reminding you who made the platform, that would be you as audience, in association to the influencers who are at all the network parties. Understand that, and you'll understand the separation of wealth and the inability to succeed in the business. 26, to growth. Growth in the sense of educated on the platforms, on how they were operating within energy, from platform to platform to platform. And most of you still will never understand what I'm speaking to. You just throw content out to see what sticks. Never once thinking television commercials, but advancing the evolution of influence to actual influence versus really not knowing where this was headed, although reminding you we make the platform. And so what I saw over there with them was not appropriate. And so instead of them trying to do right by people, they did worse by people. And they used the information that I gave them to violently attack me. I've been blocked by Gary Vaynerchuk several times. I've been blocked on his Facebook, his Instagram, his TikTok a couple times. Some of his other accounts get attention grabbing. Including showing up to his VCon, where I sent him an email telling him I was going to KILL him, and then he took me to court because of Monavan. Now take a look at Monavan and who she actually is, which is what I've been proving to you. I even intentionally had a lawyer, and he didn't show up for the case. He did not show up. Neither did she, but I could sense they were in the room. That's illegal and unethical. And that's how people in social media at the top operate, is they're above the law. In this, if this is caught on tape, this is hilarious because I am literally winning the case based on the lawyer. We're in social media. I'm not stalking him. I'm producing content and day trading attention. I'm exposing the making up of the platform. Where we are in this moment is my video had to stop, and now I had to delete TikTok. And if you're living in existence, you're feeling a mild case of what it felt like to delete the 1,000 people. If you're getting what I'm going at here. It kind of affects me, but it's really not that big of a deal, but it tells us a lot about how connected we are to the internet. So I don't have the capabilities to store my info. I delete it. That's like a big no-no in this business. Although I don't really care about that, but we're moving on here. Let's see, where was I? Oh, we're talking about Instagram, and we're talking about creating new accounts, getting deleted, telling people what was going on in the world. But I don't really want to spend too much more time on that because now I feel aggravated by the conversation because it was a really rough era for me. So now we're going to, that's kind of like in a milder sense of what I was dealing with, but multiply that by 1,000,000 and then you'll get exactly what I was going through while all of you stood there with gunshots and bullets, abusing each other and doing whatever they were doing while they were in the network as at the top. This is around the time where Gary Vee posts a photograph of Monavan. I even went on his platform to speak to Black Lives Matter and the violence of being shot to death on my couch by Black people. There's a lot of violence that came along in this journey of physical action of you as audience while you laughed at parties about it. Mona Van literally attempted to take a hammer and bludgeon me to death while she was in Cannes Lions, and thought it was funny while she danced around in her bikini. And now her karma is being returned because that shit went on for a really long time. And she's a moron. And I knew that it would evolve into me returning into the strength of who I am. However, I didn't know that Gary was the one holding me back from my success. They were depending on their pretend sophistication, their pretend elite behavior. I mean, it's like watching a bunch of 17-year-olds clueless about business talk business. Meaning, I don't want you, if you're one of them, watching my shit. And I used to say that all the time. Don't watch my shit if you don't like it. Because you take what you want and you leave the rest. But that doesn't mean you steal it, because that's definitely out of integrity. The secret is that you had to pay me. I told everybody about everything. Everything's been documented. Moving on, we didn't really want to talk about this. The 26 to growth is, you don't understand when these people turn into alien psychotics, because Obama is using this interest graft in these ways of speaking in a way that's not normal. It's not human. It's all made up. All this shit is made up, right? We made the platforms. Who's the network owner starters? What's their message? And what are they saying? And what are they actually saying? They're saying, stop being an asshole. You're self-centered and you're selfish. You're using your children as a media campaign, but you're doing it in a way that's very, very inappropriate. Why are you risking your child's health so that you can get clout and fame? NICU, baby. Why did you take those 2 daughters of yours? And then that's me. And you said, let's go to the Four Seasons in Orlando, instead of saying, let's go to Disney World. That's a setup. That was a setup to get you to want to go to the Four Seasons. Most of you can't afford the Four Seasons. So now the mother and the father, by the way, the father's wearing no clothes. So now what they're doing is they're showing us an IVF baby who you can tell in their face. Their faces look a little, it's not like it's like, some of them are crazy as shit, like Kourtney Kardashian's kid. That's not my kid, that's her kid. I'm tempted to walk away from the two, from the Disney Four Seasons kids, because the mother and the father are so vile. The whitewashing shit doesn't work on me. I do not forget the past, in the sense of I will call you out on it. It always comes back to me. It's like I don't forget. So all this whitewashing shit that they're doing is just a cover up for the moments where I'm going to expose it. There are pictures after pictures of Mona Van acting inappropriate. She's a psycho bitch. She is a terrorist in this country, and she did it proudly. I never quite understood how you as Americans could stand for this. My uncle was in Desert Storm. My great uncles were in World War II. My family is a family of soldiers. I witnessed on television 9/11, and I just really could not understand how a man from Russia who was given the opportunity to come to the United States of America would glorify that. So we realized that he was undercover. However, the energy associated to her is completely sadistic. And I will not stop until you're exposed. American? No offense, Gary, but you're Russian. And she's Persian. And he's Iranian. And that one's Cuban. And that one's from some other country. And that one's from some other country. I wouldn't go into Great Britain and demand that you treat me equal. That's why I live in America. You're fucking jealous. And that's true to all of you in the Middle East. You have land, your own land, but you're violent criminals, Palestine. You're psycho. For some reason, you want to control Israel when you have land. Because God is stronger than you. That's the truth. You don't know how to be happy or joyous. China, you have a lot of land. Russia has a lot of land. China, I think, might even be bigger than the United States of America, but they're communists. No one in China, because you're so vile and violent, would be willing to attempt to create American-style living in China. Not American-style, though, but Chinese versions of democracy to fight for your country. So what do instead? They come to our country to terrorize us. Why? Is it Hollywood? Are you really that insane, Hollywood? You do know that we have a great appreciation for the Chinese and their culture, like the culture that is like the samurai Japanese, or I'm trying to think of like a Chinese movie. You don't need to try to overthrow American. We have a great appreciation for people's culture, which is why we're American. It's like the cleanliness of so the world can be at peace. And the Persians are trying to take that so that they can make money and she can wear a diamond cockroach ring while she produces the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. To her, a diamond ring is growth. To her, a trip and abusing you as audience, that's growth. Reminding you, who made the platforms? Americans. Who is the network owner starters? Who started these networks? What's the message? What are they saying and what are they actually saying? What are these women saying? See, the secret is they're not actually truthful. It's not an interest graft. It's a forced interest in growth for them. You don't benefit in any which way if you follow Mona Van. Only she does. In her crazy ass mind. She's mentally ill. What about her making a video about her buying a set of chairs and then never showing you the chairs that she bought? Except erotically sitting in a pair of chairs that you can only assume are the chairs, which are, again, white. What is the message and what are they actually saying? What is Qatar actually saying? Why would Hollywood do this to America? Hollywood is American. Why is Priyanka Chopra in Hollywood? Because she's got money. That's the corruption, folks. So they don't have core values. They don't give a shit about you. And it's gotten worse in the last 5 years, really since Obama took office. And then the corruption got exposed to some degree. And then they started feeling like they were out of integrity. And then they had to get rid of him because they couldn't handle the out of integrity that they had done during Obama's administration. That means they don't do the work. And now we're looking at what we're seeing now, which is Biden administration dementia. They're creating dementia and autism in children. Hollywood and influencers are. Which then bleeds into the youth of our children. And that's the 26 to growth. The inflation calculator not wasting a penny. They waste all kinds of money, but we're not talking about money. I'm talking about the manipulation tactics they use to make you think you're learning when you ain't learning shit. There's no fucking way that you all would like what these people have to say. In 1997, you would know they were criminals. So what is different about where we are today, which is with where we were then? And I'm talking all races, by the way. They're criminals, but now the criminals are becoming the heroes, which means that you're all becoming criminals. You don't care about each other. You don't care about humanity. You don't care about your mom or your dad. You don't care if they die. You actually are thinking about how you're going to kill them so you can take their money and get them off your back. Kim Kardashian meets Gypsy. She killed her mother. Kim is trying to kill Kourtney, and Kim is also trying to kill her own mother. Mental illness, game of influence. That's leverage. I'm tired of the seduction. I'm tired of the nonsense. I'm tired of the boring ass whitewashing. I'm tired of these women, yet continuous production. Today, the oink oink dude will tell you how you're missing out. Green as in money. The white or the yellow background. Invited into a conversation with Gary Vee. Obviously, he's fucking undercover. How much more content do I need to produce, folks? I mean, shit, I got a lot to go on this book. And letting you know, and I'm kind of going off, I'm not on a script, but I'm just going into dialogue of conversation. Because this is stepping out of character. Although I'm still in character, would you say? Would you say that I'm out of character? Which is the same, except I have more, I'm like in topic of, I'm passionate of topic. This is actually called, are you showing different sides of yourself, your brand, and your business? Yeah, I am. Let's see. Is your copy optimized for the platform? For where I'm at, yes. Because for you, the copy, which is the dialogue within the comment section, is a brainwash. You can trust me. You can't trust these people. Learn how to not trust anyone. Isn't that crazy that I have to say that? Are you putting out enough? I think I'm putting out enough volume of content. I actually feel like I'm not putting out enough content. I really feel like if I had, well, I'm putting out quite a bit. Speed. It's like speed of the internet. I don't have the speed of the internet, so I blame it on the internet. Are you using cultural trends within each platform? Let's see. View versus creator. How are they viewing it versus how you're creating it? If a post the same, it's viewed different on each platform. Same picture, New perspective of every awesomeness Gary said in the book. Picture, Truth Social. Different group of people, same picture, no copy, no nothing added, but how are they viewing it? Depends on who you are as a creator. I'm confident in my work, so I will post the same picture because I want you to view it in multi-dimensionals. But nobody else will be able to operate like this, by the way. This is actually something I just discovered for myself. I'll be honest with you. Why do I post the same picture on Twitter, on Instagram, and Facebook? Because I delete the photos. And I'm scared I'm going to lose the photos. So what do? I post them so I don't lose them. Because I always had taken into consideration that Facebook is like the dialogue of a photography layout, right? And I want to wrap things up because it takes forever to download here. Are you using a platform's in-app features? Like polls? Does your copy reference contextual elements from the platform? Hey, Facebook. Call. I am going to call in just a minute. Okay, I'm going to actually stop there, but this was our lesson in your creation or my creation of 26 to growth. What it means to be rich, becoming aware of, being aware, being self-aware, being aware of what's going on, of self-awareness here so you can be self-aware over there. And not falling for their clever nonsense. I don't fall for it. We got 19 minutes on this part of the video. You'll see the video shift in energy because I deleted TikTok and I reloaded TikTok. Notice if you see anything different in the first 12 minutes to the last 19 minutes. It takes forever for TikTok or YouTube. This is a problem for YouTube. It's a problem for Truth Social. There's always going to be problems on your apps too, by the way. From your service, from your customers. That's another problem for people who create apps. They don't realize that the people within the app can be terrorists against you. They don't like what you say. Tough shit. I own the app. I'm the business owner. Go somewhere else. And then learning to finagle that behavior to stay within ethics. Because we're looking at Clapper as the next TikTok. Clapper. So get your ass in gear, Clapper. It's the same shit. I've used Clapper. It's okay. It's not the best. It's the same thing. It just doesn't have it's got dirty people in there. It's kind of like reminds me of Periscope. And Periscope was dark and nasty. Anywho, thank you for watching. Here we go. Watch, like, subscribe, and share, and tell your mom that you like my page. And I hope everybody has a great Tuesday, because today's Tuesday. If you're watching it on a Wednesday, have a great Wednesday. If you're watching it on Thursday, have a great Thursday. If you're watching it on a Friday, have a great Friday, etc., etc. Yeah, I got my YouTube video in, everybody.